What's up, internet dwellers? It's the British guy, Hawk, here with my co-star, the retro gamer and retro geek, Zen, and bedroom eyes joKeR. Now,
Hello.
Bedroom eyes.
Yeah. What I wanted to start off was we were talking about anime and manga in our last thing, and like if it was for children, and in fact I got into that whole like conversation with Dom on
Yep.
our last one. Shout out to Dom.
Dom was in the comments under the video on YouTube.
Yep. And to be honest, last night I actually convinced myself to start reading Boruto again, and to be honest, and I mean the manga. And to be honest, I started reading the first chapter and I fucking hate it. I was just like, this is like gone way too quickly and shit. But then I watched the anime today and I thought, this has done so much better. It's like properly introduced characters, and it's probably one of the rare examples where, you know, a show's done it better than the manga.
Mm-hmm.
But
Which one did you see? Like, did you read it before you saw it, or the other way around? Because that really matters.
Yeah, I read it for the first time. Yeah,
so then it is
collected,
that is a rare case then, because usually it's like you read it first and then you hate the movie adaptation or whatever.
Yeah, well, I read it, got into the first 5 chapters, and to be honest, it was just too far in the story, and compared to the anime where they've gone into the academy and you're slowly being introduced to the characters in a much more natural way, whereas in the manga you're thrown into sort of like the middle of a story and you're just thinking, whoa, have I missed something here? And to be honest, the pacing and how the story sort of like keeps jumping around in the manga is like really, I just dislike it.
Usually I find in films it's the other way around. Like if you're watching a sci-fi film and they start walking on the exterior hull of a spaceship, they'll go, magnetic boots on, and then they'll start walking up it. I mean, you don't have to fucking explain everything, right? It's like, yeah. I find that in films sometimes that they just over-explain shit.
Oh, yeah, they'll do that, mate, especially in anime, where they'll be like, but you'll have over-explanations in like multiple episodes and everything like that.
Big
like,
time.
oh, just to remind you, like, this is what it's about. And I'm like, I understand why they do that, but at the same time, I'm like, nowadays, you're pretty much going to be starting from episode 1. And if you don't understand the concept of chakra, ki, and everything like that, I mean, you've probably like not been paying too much close attention, and to be honest, you shouldn't be in that starting episode either.
Yeah.
But the other topic I wanted to broach on was that whole like, and what me and Dom were talking about, where people would just sort of look at you reading manga or watching anime and automatically just think this guy's a child. I started reading a manga last night and I've continued reading it because I fucking fell in love with it. It's called Platinum's End, and it's written by the same guys who did Death Note. And basically what it's about is this kid, his siblings and parents died in a car accident when he was younger, and he went to go live with his aunt, uncle, and cousins. And at first they were really nice to him, like for like a couple of weeks, and then they were abusive as shit to him. Like his cousins would beat the crap out of him, but he wasn't allowed to fight back. If he objected to anything or disliked something that his aunt and uncle did, they'd abuse the fuck out of him. He did all the chores, and he didn't even get his own bed or a bedroom. He just got given a blanket, told to go into the supply closet. And the story picks up him graduating middle school. He's super depressed. He has
Harry Potter, pretty much.
Well, it starts off after him graduating from middle school. He's super depressed, no friends or anything like that. He decides to go up to a building and commit suicide. And
what, the main character of the fucking manga?
Yeah. And just before he hits the ground, this angel catches him and says, "I'm here to make you happy," because and so what she does is it does this whole explanation that she's one of 13 angels that have been sent by God to choose 13 people to become a god, and they're called god candidates. And
but what's your point though? It's like you're trying to say that it is
so
far from being childlike.
Well, hold on. What I'm trying to say is that it's not a children's manga because there's actual brutal murder in it, and there's a guy who has and takes advantage because he's one of the candidates, as the angels are all like pure and shit. They're like, hey, you can just go rob a bank. Hey, just go kill this person. It's super simple. This dude actually has like a 15-some in like the back of a limo, full nudity and everything like that. So I dare anyone to look at that and say that's for children. And if you say that's for children, go show it to a child with their parent present and see what happens.
No, I think obviously there's no argument whether that is made for children or not. It's just we were more talking about the perception, generally speaking, the general perception of it. I mean, if people were to look into it a little bit more, if those people that are like, oh, comic books and manga and anime are for kids, if they looked into it some more, they would pretty quickly find out that, holy fuck, this is for sick fucks. There's a whole lot of sick shit out there, but it's just one of those, it's almost like saying like, yeah, you call people that go and hunt fucking game, like fucking animal murderers, if you don't know anything
Psychotic
about
people,
it.
yes.
Yeah, if you know nothing about it, it's very quick to jump on some sort of bandwagon and say, fuck those guys killing fucking animals.
100%. And I've been in games in situations where I would have like some random profile picture on my Steam account, and some Australian guy on the other team or on the same team will start criticizing and abusing you because you've got just a picture and he's calling you a weeaboo, something, and it's not right.
Yeah,
it definitely is not right.
Yeah. It's almost like I often say this to people, but it's like one of the most frustrating feelings in the world, to me anyway, is being misunderstood.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like it's really hard not to be a human being that doesn't judge, though. Like I think we're just judgmental species, so it's very quick to judge.
That's definitely fair enough. As much as I'd love to sit back and say I fucking hate people that do this, and this, I'm just as guilty of it as saying about people that like reality TV. I'll just go, that's just like the worst thing in TV at the moment. It's super scripted. It's basically a cancer.
But some people enjoy it.
Yeah, but I just find, but I'll always stick to this principle, and as I put it, I never say that anyone has bad taste. Like if someone loves reality TV show and that is literally the only thing they'll watch, I will still never say you have bad taste, because there is never going to be a standard, and there should never be a standard.
Because everyone's got different tastes.
That's really tough for me. Like whilst I understand that, as a graphic designer, I know what bad taste is, but if I had to put it into words and write it down, and it'd be arguable. 100%. I think it's arguable. Yes.
Maybe it's just the term saying bad taste, because it just means that nobody likes it, or that you're just basically this outcast. Maybe it's like it's not the favorite, and it's definitely not the most tasteful, or something like that.
For example, I hate seaweed because I had the taste of it, but there's so many people out there that like it. It's the same concept. Is some people like it, some people hate it. There shouldn't be a bad taste or a good taste. It's just, to some people,
I think it's way more complicated than that. Like I think like if you're talking about like graphics or design or something like that, I think bad taste stems from something that is technically at fault. So if you have a layout that is nothing lines up, the composition is weak, then technically it's bad design. So then bad taste almost
bad design and bad
from that.
taste, I'd say, is two different things.
It is two different things, but what I'm trying to say, it stems from it. It gets to a point where, if you see someone wearing really a horrible outfit, then I could try to break down why I think it's bad taste. Maybe because the three colors that they're wearing are not complementary at all.
Yes, but I'd also argue that someone could equally rock up right next to you and say the exact opposite, and say, actually
100%.
This is good because it's so it pops, it like blends so well together.
That's why I agree. Taste is definitely arguable. 100%.
I'd say it's just completely personal, because someone can like something so much and somebody else can hate it that much, or even more. And and to be honest, like, it's fair enough. Like they both have equal opinions, and that was sort of like the whole thing behind episode 1 when I was explaining about like how I don't like reviewers and how you come into something with your own equal taste, because some people have said to me that they love some sort of show, but then when I watch it, I just go, I can't stand the show. Like Death Note, for example. People say that the first part of Death Note is so good. To be honest, I just can't seem to watch it and like it. It's so critically acclaimed, though.
Oh, but that doesn't matter.
And
like heaps of people hate Star Wars, I'm sure.
Hunter x Hunter. I tried to watch the first episode of that.
Hunter x Hunter, mate.
It's either Hunter x Hunter or Hunter x Hunter. People pronounce it so differently, let's not try and get into that. A lot of it, I knew a few people who were just like, I really loved Hunter x Hunter or Hunter x Hunter, the anime, the 2011 one, and obviously you have some people who are just like, no, that's the worst one, you should go back to the 1990s one. But I tried to watch the first episode of that because I love the manga, and I listened to Gon's voice, this girl's voice for this male character. I was just like, no, I can't stand this voice. And I've done that with a few shows and games where honestly the voice just pulls me out of it completely. Like I hate Poir's voice in Dragon Ball, but I can sort of stand it, but oh my God, that's like a terrible voice.
I am going to have to agree. Goku's voice from the English dubbed to the Japanese or English subbed is completely different. It's very high pitched, and it was hard for me to get into that habit of listening to him.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I would always prefer to try to watch movies in because the bad lip syncing is enough to throw me off.
Yeah, that's fair. Especially when I was watching Ip Man 2, it had a sub, and there was one particular character. He was just a background character though, and he was one of the students, and he had like 3 different voices, and I was just like, okay. Like
it almost reminds me of like if I used to go to nightclubs where people would just grab the open mic and they'd have this like Asian film going on in the background, and people would just make up shit to the film.
Yeah, but that's hilarious. Have you never ever watched a movie and just muted it and just go, I'm just going to start making my own lines, and you just, for some reason, it just becomes a bit sexual?
Oh, it's hilarious. There's someone that's done it on YouTube to an old X-Men cartoon, and I'm the Juggernaut, bitch, and it's fucking so funny, man.
Well, yeah, 5 Stars does that. It's called like Dragon Ball Abridged, Overlord Abridged. Like you literally have a bridge series who literally just do that, and it's so funny. Like that line where they did a Dragon Ball Cooler's Revenge. There's this one line that I just think was so funny where he just goes, somebody better pick up that phone because I fucking called it. I thought it was a great line.
You had to be there. But like we should probably introduce joKeR, by the way. I mean, we did talk about him a little bit in our last episode, but for those who don't know, joKeR, we met you through Discord.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember exactly how though. I think it was Destiny 2.
Yes, it was.
But I don't exactly remember. Like, how did you get an invite? Who was it from?
So from a colleague of mine. He's
yes, that's right. Now I remember.
We jumped into Destiny 2, and you guys were in the same channel, and we went off from there.
I think what happened was I put a call out on my Facebook, saying, "Hey, we're playing Destiny 2. Is anyone else playing it?" And I think someone sent me. It might not have been Ham. What's his name?
I think it was Hamburg. Yeah, it's
but Hambo Vegas or something.
That's the one.
But I think I've met him a few times in real life, but I don't think he said he was playing. I think he said like he's got a big server or something and a community sort of thing, and people on it were playing Destiny.
I know that Hambo Vegas is kind of a friend with a friend of mine, and obviously with my in real life friend, we kind of wanted to jump into Destiny too. Right. And at that point, I don't know, somehow in Discord we started playing together, and I think obviously I think there was a few of us, 5 or 6 of us that started
Sam
playing.
was there, right, for sure.
Yeah. And then what happened was, I think my in real life mate kind of dropped out, and I kept continuing on with you boys raiding and
For a
doing
bit,
specific
yeah.
events. Yeah.
What,
No,
why did you
I
why did you drop
remember.
out of that? Like, why did you stop playing Destiny 2?
I think I got overly repetitive with the
Mm.
grinding. Plus, with real life stuff, working full time, it's hard to keep those energy levels to look at a screen. I currently always look at a screen, so it's kind of hard for me to come home and continue on doing that.
Didn't the other night when we went to the car meet, I
Mm.
heard you say in the car that like you wanted to go home and game. Or is that what you think about when you're at work?
Well, I wouldn't mind gaming. It's relaxing,
You
but
find you're not a hardcore gamer though, eh?
no, not anymore. No,
Mm.
no. Sometimes I just go home, have a game, then just jump off, chillax, and rinse and repeat.
I talked a little bit about that this morning. I did a little video, a Monday morning rant video, and I talked about how just getting off the meds and getting off sleeping tablets and all that shit. And I've gotten to a place now where I'm finding motivation again, and I actually am creating a shit ton more than just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah.
And
You do seem to be on a podcast like for momentum at the moment.
well,
Since you got
podcasts and
this
streaming and
podcast and you got
mm,
your ranting, and then like
mm,
Ian Baker, was it, who said he wants you
yeah,
on a podcast, and then
yeah.
you're also talking about a separate other podcast.
But I mean, I'm writing as well, and I'm writing on Medium. I'm on Reddit. I even have a Deviant Art profile up, and I'm working on that. And it's like I uh, DeviantArt's like a place where artists can upload. A lot of it's actually manga, which is anime manga inspired. So it's really really cool art. It's like that stuff that I show you guys. Artwork of Aloy, for example, or
Hey, Lloyd, she's hot.
yeah, but like all the fan. It's a place of fan art.
Well, to be honest, it's not surprising considering was it like a month or two ago you were saying that you were feeling really creative and you really want to do something,
Yeah, I
but
was
at the
getting
same
there. Yeah,
but at the
I
same
was
time
getting
you're
there.
sort of just like you do only be doing it and it feel like for selfish reasons, and it's just like, but you're like now becoming like more expressive, I guess.
Well, like I just had, when I had the rant this morning, I just instantly realized that I am not gaming 10 hours a day anymore. I mean, or 5 hours a day, and it's just
Yeah,
like
I've definitely
it's
noticed
just
that over the week or two. I've just been
yeah.
like, when I'm like on Discord, like at work or something, I've been noticing you're just not online as much because usually I'd see you online on Fallout 76 or like many
Well,
months ago it
I'm
was
actually
on
on the
Destiny 2.
yeah, but I'm on the
But yeah,
computer now. Like literally, my iMac popped up a message for me 2 days ago that said, "You've been on this computer for this many hours this week. It's like something like 200 or 300% up from the week before." I'm like,
Jeez.
okay, well, I'm being like this machine for me is there's no games on it. It's a Mac, so it's production. Like I'm actually producing shit. I mean, that's what I said, Hawk, about our first episode. It's like we could keep talking about it, or the fact that we actually put an episode out, it just felt really good for me. It's like a step in the right direction.
yeah, and
In
as
my
I
opinion.
said, I'm not sure if I said it on the episode, like someone might be able to tell me if I did or not,
Mm.
that I was, because obviously we talked about like the original idea was reviewing review
Yeah,
videos,
yeah, sure.
and then we were laughing because we were like, and then we'll review that review video, and then we'll just keep going on like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously you guys were sort of joking, but I was just half in my mind. I'm like, I don't know if these guys are joking or not, and I was like, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure they
I
are.
was joking. Yeah,
But then I was just like, do you know what? Fuck it. Like, I'll put the comment down.
yeah.
And I think I'm not sure if you were just like, does he know that I was joking? And I'm like, oh, well. But then yeah, I was happy that I did it because obviously it's resulted in this. And
No, I'm really happy to be producing. Like that's the thing. Like I think when I'm sitting there gaming for like 5 hours a day, or a 50-hour gaming week, I come up with all these lies that justify it. Like you could put it down to cognitive fucking exercise or thumb what do you call that when you thumb to eye fucking coordination and all this shit and whatever. You could just come up with endless amount of lies for basically why you game so much. But end of the day, it's like I just got honest. I think in the end, like I'm never going to be a pro gamer, so I don't think doing a 50-hour week of gaming was going to be any good for my career or
Well,
Yeah, but
you're
future.
right.
also,
You
but
know,
also the whole pro gaming thing, I don't think you would have, even if you did get into like trying to do that, it's just not the sort of games you're into. Because when you're talking about pro stuff, you're talking Dota, like joKeR.
that's good segue. Let's talk about Dota, but good
Well,
God.
segue. I
Well,
don't understand it.
I was gonna say, gaming shouldn't be a lifestyle. Gaming, it was designed, to give enjoyment to people, to make them happy, win, lose, try again. It's not a lifestyle where you play for hours and hours and you waste your life away just sitting behind a screen.
You're talking about balance.
Yeah, well, that's what everyone needs, is a bit of a balance.
Mm.
Yeah, you could spend 1 hour playing a game, but it's also good to go out, socialize with other people, because the more you're stuck behind a screen, the less interaction you have with someone else, and the more you'll struggle with work or going out, or
Social.
yeah.
I mean,
You'll
there's been
struggle.
all sorts of studies that say that people who play complicated games end up transferring the skills that they learn in gaming
Yeah,
to
no,
the workforce.
that's been a whole thing because JRPGs have been considered better for better quick decision making,
Yeah,
and
team
puzzle
also
games
working
are
in teams, like in the workplace, like teamwork.
yeah
Yeah, but
puzzle
but
games are better for practical thinking. So you're just generally going to go, oh, I sort of know how to, because you're always being made to
yeah,
like for practical
they're
thinking.
they're
But
they're
games
only
of themselves are just for great stress relief. I mean,
but
the
that
amount of
sounds like very
times.
specific base skills, not a general overall. If you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I mean, it's like I was saying again. You can always argue, right? People can always argue. Like
Oh yeah.
I've even heard of some people saying that like you can learn more in like like Hawk suggested, like you could learn more about life playing a JRPG than working in McDonald's. Like you could probably learn more skills that are going to be better for you in the workplace than
Uh-huh.
working at McDonald's, which is
I
pretty
think
bizarre, man.
I
Like
don't
I don't know
don't
if you want
think
to encourage people to play games instead of
it
getting a job
depends
at
on
Macca's.
what you mean by learning, because games can be a great learning tool for subject matter, history, and all that sort of stuff.
Well, geography,
As
Minecraft,
yeah,
etc.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed is definitely like
History.
yeah, is great for history and all that sort of stuff. And you got, it's just because the interactability with it, and it's not super seriously. You're not just sat there reading or something like that. But if you're gonna be like, I'm gonna get life skills from this, it's like, no, you're not. That's not how this works.
But also at the same time, you don't really hear of people talking about like maybe when chess was invented and there were some people that geeked out so fucking hard that they do like 10 hours of playing chess a day. They probably didn't talk about how unhealthy that was for you.
Yeah, but
Nah.
like everything is sort of unhealthy in its sort of way. I mean,
In
Well,
extremities, like yeah,
reading
yeah,
without
excessive.
balance, with
Yeah,
excessive, that's it.
accessibility,
It comes
excessive
back to
ability.
balance
Yeah.
again, I think.
it does.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like reading books, you could be like, yeah, that's super good for you. It's like, well, what if you just like in the
Bookworm, like
house for
serious
like
bookworm.
20 hours
Yeah.
a day reading non-stop? It's like, no, it's not.
Which I assume a lot of people would do. So then that sort of blows out that whole concept of, oh fuck, it'd be so much better if you're reading a book than playing games, right? Because like balance is balance end of the day. Like
Well, yeah, and the thing is, what I've done previously was I've looked at how many hours I've spent just only on like 3 Steam games of mine,
mm.
and what I've calculated it to be is over 6 months of total gameplay in less than 10 years. So
And
you try and look at that in that perspective. It kind of makes you feel like, well, in 6 months, what could I've done in
but no,
those six
some
months?
people look at that and go, fuck yeah. I've fucking done 6 months. Like some people are like, oh, you're a wussy. You've only done like 300 hours in that game. I've done 3,000, bro.
Yeah,
So
well,
some people use it as a way to gloat.
Yeah, but it depends on what like social group, because like I remember when I was growing up, and joKeR probably had the same. If you're just like, oh, I spent like 20 hours yesterday playing this game, they're just like, what? you're a loser. You're just wasting like 20 hours of your day to play this. It's like, oh, okay,
20 hours of
sorry.
your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I keep coming back to that too. Like, I find it hilarious that Steam has achievements, you know, and you've achieved this, and you know, X amount of people playing this game have achieved that. I'm like, fucking, that's not an achievement, man. Let's be real. You
Yeah,
know,
but
like achievements. You know how like in schools these days, that everyone gets the gold star. They call it like a participation award these days, you
yeah,
know?
it's a
Yeah.
participation.
But it's like, that's just the way it's gone now. So it's like Steam's handing me out these achievements left, right, and center when I first start playing a game. I'm like, don't you fucking dare try to get me hooked on this shit. I don't want these fucking achievements. All I did was walk into that room and I got an achievement.
Well, they
Yeah,
have the
but
product. They
that's-
need to keep, you know, users or customers interested in that, so they obviously can make more money.
Yeah, but it's another
that's
level
another
of what
topic. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
another level of what games try to do. It's a, you know, an escape for, you know, what's it called? You know, you're getting a sense of achievement. It's escapism.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So
But I mean,
yeah, so instead of the fact that I'm going to work and I'm doing
yeah.
pretty much the exact same thing over and over again, I get to come home, play this game, and now I'm this like awesome, almost invincible guy, or I'm
Yeah,
shooting magic or something like
Yeah.
that, and
Yeah,
I'm getting
escapism
these
for
like
sure.
these awesome achievements, and it's like this sense of like escapism. But it's like at the same time, it's like, yeah, that's pretty good for like stress relief, but at the same time, it's also teetering a bit dangerously in the fact that you're now
Yeah.
just becoming a bit you could becoming more jaded in life.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing.
Addicted.
Like, yeah, it's
It
not.
becomes a lifestyle.
I almost don't think it's much of a risk. Like people who hate their jobs, they sort of have that thought of, maybe I want to quit and find a better job. But then, you know, the weight of like, oh fuck, then I have to write a CV. Oh fuck, I've got to send out, you know, 100 CVs to get one interview. And then there's just all of that weight of like taking that huge risk of leaving this comfort zone to try something else is almost overbearing, to a point where they don't take that risk. But
I
then
think I'm
what's the
more.
bigger risk? Is like the bigger risk might be staying in that job that you're fucking unhappy with, and then 10 years later realizing, oh my God, what have I done?
Yeah, but I think
So
I'm a lot more cynical than that personally, because other than the fact that I'd say for both me and joKeR, maybe not for you, Zen, since it sort of works in the fact that you're older, is that job markets nowadays are pretty much like after people who are like 40 years old, but after people to accept 18-year-old wages. But I'd go even more cynical than that personally, because I'm like, even if I were to get my dream job, eventually I'd just be like, this is boring. Like, I've done this so much. This
well,
is just
a job's a
meh.
job. A job's a job. But you can only like, I mean, I've never had too many jobs, you know, because that's the kind of person I am. I suppose I've always gone for the jugular, you know. Like I have a very small ability to compromise and work for the man. Working for the man, just, it's not something that I've ever been interested in. But yeah, like with games, it's fascinating. Like you guys almost hit on the topic a second ago of like the idea of companies out there trying to keep you addicted, like literally like a fucking division within that game studio where
Well, that's what
someone
live service.
specializes in, you know, keeping you on, like
Well,
keeping
that's
you
what
on and
live
racking up
service
those hours.
games are good for. The fact that there's more content that they're bringing out, and then there'll be this bigger content, whereas everyone's sort of like becoming a bit more jaded in this small amount of content. With like Destiny 2's pretty much new planet, or should I say a new moon, and the whole new powers, and they're going to be making new exotics and everything like that. It's just to keep you hooked and keep you going.
Mm. I
Pretty
mean,
much.
look, without naming any names, I think at some point in my career, there was oh man, I really don't want to get in trouble if the people who hear this, I really I need to sometimes clap my trap. But like the concept of creating a mobile phone game, and this mobile phone game got so out there to a point where every week one particular kid, he was like 13 years old, he was spending like over $1,000 on the microtransactions on this
Oh,
phone game. And like, so the people who made this game were fucking cheering because it's like, it's a success.
yeah, but
It's making so much money.
That
And
describes like a lot of them because you have
yeah,
like
yeah.
your connections, all the like base buildings.
Yeah.
You have like they basically just start shoving microtransactions down your throat, and that's
But I couldn't
become
do
a
it. Like
big.
I bailed out. Like it's not something that
Yeah, but that,
um
that became like a bigger problem in the industry in general, to the fact that I
mm,
I actually remember I linked that article about Cyberpunk, and I thought it's so sad that they have to make an
yeah,
article that
yeah.
simply says that Cyberpunk 2077 has no microtransactions. I was like, that is pretty sad. Like the fact
Yeah,
that
that
they
it's such
have
a
to
big
stoop,
topic and
yeah,
yeah.
we have to stoop to that level, and the fact that it's like, and we actually briefly discussed it. I don't mind microtransactions when it's like cosmetic stuff like they did in Division. I mind it if it's like you're basically buying weapons, you're buying armor, you're
Yeah,
buying
yeah,
You
no,
mean
I get you.
status or
pay to win,
statistics?
pay
Yeah.
to
Pay to
win,
win, yeah.
the pay to
Yeah,
win
yeah. I
pass.
think that's a general consensus. But in this situation, it was cosmetics. And the sad thing is like a whole lot of kids out there do have somehow, I mean, let's just blame it on the parents too here, because if you're giving your kid credit card access and they're blowing it every week on a mobile phone game, well, it's pretty much your fault just as much as the kid's fault, right? But
Oh, 100%.
yeah, but like you know, as a developer, like when you get all your stats, you have fucking stats, and you know that like some young kids, 13-year-old kid is blowing over $1,000 a week on your mobile phone game. It's like, yeah, in business terms, you cheer up and down because it's a success.
Oh yeah.
But like, fuck, how do you go to sleep at night? Like, if you've got any kind of fucking conscience, like that,
Closing.
that's where business and yeah, that's what I find hard
Yeah,
about.
but I think I can understand it sort of if it's free to play. Like if it's like you can install it because that's just how they generate their money. So, but I think if it was a case of here, pay $80, and also you need to pay more money for a season pass, and also by the way, there's so much on offer here that you can just pay for. You won't be able to earn it. Look at this. This looks really cool. I think
Yeah.
that's like that sort of stuff is the whole I hate. If it's a free to play game, so like Destiny 2 became free to play, so you've got the season pass and everything like that. To me, I sort of think that's fair. That's how they're going to generate their money,
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
microtransactions, with the
I think
season
that's fine.
passes.
Yeah, yeah.
The
It's a
game
great
doesn't
game.
just run on happy laughs and hopes and dreams and everything
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
What I,
Yeah.
what I
It's
really
not
hate
downright rip off, yeah.
what I really hate is also those subscriptions where they promise you like a 14-day trial and they prompt you to put in a credit card, and it's like they're setting you out for failure. So once you forget to kind of deactivate that subscription, they've taken your money.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's sad to see
So
that.
many services are like that now,
Oh
right?
yeah,
They
100%.
have auto renewal on as soon as they grab your credit card. And I mean, that's why, like recently my credit card got hacked and then they sent me a new one. And fuck, I started having money in my account every month because my old credit card was just bleeding. Like I was paying
Jeez.
$5 to fucking Yahoo or some shit and fucking $10 to this and $10 to that. And I'm like, man, I've lost my credit card and now all these services that I had are gone.
Because it's
Um,
unlinked.
yeah. And I'm like, holy fuck, I don't even remember what I was paying for. It could have been like fucking Crunchyroll and all this shit that I haven't used in ages, or just shit that I signed up for
Oh
and I
yeah,
forgot about.
I've definitely subscribed and unsubscribed to Crunchyrolls a couple of times simply because I've just been like, when you have to take a step back and go, have I actually used this service in X amount of time? And you go, no, I fucking haven't.
Could you
I
watch
said
this
I
for free online? Yes, I
yeah,
can.
I said I was gonna watch this, but I got a few episodes in and I've just gotten sidetracked with something else, and I am subscribed to it.
Yeah.
I'm winning because I got 45 days free trial with what's it called? Anime Lab through the McDonald's Monopoly game.
Oh
I
man.
So
love
I'm
Anime Lab.
cheering.
I met the guy who I met a guy who works on that game.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's like it's a huge agency that develops it for McDonald's.
Maybe it could slip you some tokens for a car.
I'm just thinking like because I started
This
like
guy's so
collecting
lucky.
those tabs and stuff, and I'm just like,
3 cars.
fuck this shit.
Nothing sus about that.
Well,
Man,
you just go into your local McDonald's, 10 of the tabs just for the big money payout. Holy shit, this guy's lucky. Sure, lucky, not connected, just lucky.
but it works the way. Like I mean, it is gambling, but it's like fuck. I remember when I went to uni, a uni mate of mine, his two flatmates were from the country, and they were studying as well, and they all moved from the country into the city. And these guys found at the supermarket, you know, when you're checking out at the supermarket, there's like shitty magazines there. They have these shitty magazines every week that the entire magazine's all giveaways. It's like you can win this, you can win that. And these guys like made it a thing. Like every time I went over to this guy's place, there'd be this stack of magazines of those shit magazines that are just everything's a giveaway. And
Oh yeah, I've seen
legit
thousands
within
of
a
those.
year, these guys won a fucking car.
Jeez.
So it worked. Like it fucking happened. I didn't know that shit
Jeez.
was real.
Oh
But,
yeah, there's plenty of them. Just like, oh, if you do this, you'll win X amount of money, or if you do this, you'll get a trip to this place. Or if
it's
you
fucking
do this,
gambling though, eh? That's what it is. It's just like it's like the lottery, right? Like the lottery was when I was growing up, the lottery was something that every household did. Like it's fucking
every
gambling,
household still does that.
really? Like you get, you know,
Who doesn't have a dream about winning the lotto at the moment,
well,
and then
my parents
and
would
then
be
the
like,
next day just going, putting down the slip and going, I'm out of here, and go, oh, that's right, I'm also sick. See you later.
I don't know. I just remember like the parents would like, get you to pick a number and get my sister to pick a number. You know, it's just like,
What's your birthday? What's your favorite number?
Oh
no,
yeah, the superstition around that whole stuff. You just go, do this, and then I'll win, get the lotto. But that's for like a lot of things, sports and everything like that.
I do remember when I was a little bit older, like I wasn't quite a teenager yet, but I was like a bit older, a bit wiser, and a bit more of a smartass. And my dad took me to the lottery shop because there used to be proper lottery shops. It wasn't newsagents. It was like the whole fucking shop was designed for lottery. And I go in there and like he said, okay, you fill out half the numbers, and I'll fill out the other half. And then we're taking the ticket over to the counter to pay for it, and he's paying for it. And I've just gone, so Dad, if we win, do I get 50%? And then he just looked at me, goes, because you've said that, we're not going to win. And I do remember that. So I'm kind of like,
And
okay.
did you win?
Nah, but yeah,
Oh.
but it's almost like I get what he's trying to say. It's like you can't take it so seriously, and you can't like, I don't know. It's just a game, you know.
Don't expect.
Yeah. Don't be greedy. Like it was a life lesson that he gave me there. It was like something that's always stuck with me, you know. Like
That's
like
great.
I don't go and start a business and then, you know,
Expect it's gonna do well.
Worry about us hitting the fucking big time, and then maybe there's not enough fucking solid contracts in place, and maybe my business partner might rip me off down the track, or you know, like I just don't.
Well, that's what we're doing with this podcast. We started it, and honestly, from episode 1, we pretty much said we honestly don't know if it's going to be big or if it's going to be small. But we're just doing it because we're just doing it.
Yeah. Well, you know, gotta admit, right, guys? Like, we're doing it in a time where we still can do it too.
Oh yeah.
You know, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, as we go on into the future, that like, you know, it'll get to a point where it's like fucking 1985 or.
Oh, you would love that Fallout 76.
Well, but you know, like my whole last few years getting censored on Instagram or getting banned on Facebook for saying shit, like getting banned for 30 days at a time and stuff.
Oh, but
it's like it makes you just realize like that's just the way it's all going. You know, like
censorship nowadays is like so off balance though. It's really bad.
I feel like people like overreact in terms of getting hurt by specific words. You know, everyone's very sensitive to like someone's opinion. You know, that's not right.
But I think it's even worse when they say this is going to be really bad for this person, and then the person who we're talking about replies and goes, "I don't really care," and then they reply by going, "You should be. I'm going to be upset for you." It's like, no, you can't be upset for somebody else.
Well, that's the thing. I think there's space for really good discussion, but then when you have someone just like, you know, like growing up, like for me, it was like, yeah, you call, I get called a pussy for not doing something, or get called, oh, you fucking girl, and I get it. Like, I can get how some girls would be like, well, that's not fucking right. I feel offended that, you guys are saying to each other, you fuck.
Well, that's
Like a
degrading women,
pussy.
pretty much.
Yeah. And I get it, but it's like,
Yeah.
it's good to bring that up in conversation, as opposed to like blasting people straight up for saying it. It needs to be an educational thing, right? You can't, like, I don't know, half the time it's just like,
Not a
there's
tantrum.
there's so much anger, and there's so much like fucking revenge vibes, that it's like, it's not going to be
Cancel
easy
culture.
it's just, you're just not going to, it's not going to be easy to convert someone who's been saying it their whole lives because they were taught it was okay, and then like all of a sudden getting people to adjust it's not necessarily going to be easy, especially with older people.
That's a whole, that's a generational thing. Like,
Right.
I'm not sure. I can't really speak for joKeR, but when I obviously grew up, it was like, people being, if you threw a certain way, you're obviously called, you're girly or some shit like that. And obviously the whole gay thing.
The gay thing was huge even for me growing up. It's like we used to pay kids out in high school for being gay, and we didn't even really know what it was. But we used to always like pay certain like the whole fucking class would bully one kid.
Yeah, there was a kid that used to love a bloke that used to love Justin Bieber, and everyone accused him of being gay. And it's like, well, that's his taste. He enjoys it. There's no reason to do that. Now there's a lot of guys that like it.
Or they were saying it like as if there's something really wrong with it, right?
Yeah.
But it's like me growing up as a kid, like we had Boy George and stuff on on the every fucking weekend, and my aunties would be singing it and stuff. So I as a kid, I didn't even know. Like, I'm just looking at a guy that looks like dresses weird, like really had no idea until much later on. So.
Oh yeah, well, I definitely grew up on people being like, you're gay and stuff like that. Not like jokingly, like, you being gay, like everything like that.
To be honest, that affects
nowadays.
That affects even at a young age, teenagers and adults, very intense, because people's mindsets are there to judge. And then when you get that in your head, you start acting in a way where you're trying to impress others because you don't want to be judged like that. And it makes it very complicated for some people.
Yeah, but that's still going on nowadays.
It does.
And the whole thing, and the fact that you're basically, if you look at universities and colleges and everything like that, and then high schools, especially high schools, because that's pretty much where it, like secondary schools or high schools, that's pretty much where it turns out. You're basically being molded into what is society's perception of what you should be at that point.
I can't even believe we're talking about it. It's really funny.
People being like outraged by like minor things, or the fact that they're basically being force-fed misinformation to overreact in such a way, and is just sort of like what it is nowadays.
Yeah, I think it's a shame. Like, I think there's so much, like, if I do research this kind of stuff on YouTube, like there's so much anger about something that actually, if there was a decent, calm video about it, that some people might actually learn. But if you're gonna fight with fire, then it's no wonder that people fight back with fire. It's just
or get burned.
Even in the calm, but even in the calm, rational videos, it's still they try to flame it, they try to cancel it, and everything like that on both sides, really. I mean, nowadays, like, people being like threatened to be killed or told to commit suicide, or their families being threatened.
I can't imagine what bullying is like in this day and age.
It's just so common.
Fucking hell.
Oh yeah. It hasn't even gotten any better, because there's so many
not with the internet
campaigns.
No, it can't.
That are going throughout schools, yet nothing's actually ever changed in the last 15 years, which is sad.
You can't because of the internet. Like, I mean, at least some kid getting bullied back in my day, all they had to deal with every day was the bullies, right? X amount of people per day. Whereas now,
with social media, you can't really stop that.
Exactly. Now you're being bullied by the kids at school, and then you come home from school and you're being bullied by the fucking cunts on Facebook
and the only thing that would stop that is if you commit suicide. Then the police get involved. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but that's the way it is.
Well, yeah, like, cause like half of me in the beginning, half of me was like, how can these kids be saying they have depression? Like, how can you be giving a fucking kid like medication for depression at that age? And like the more I look into it, the more I understand it. It's like, holy fuck.
But I
Yeah,
think
but
it's also
that's also a topic that someone broached on the fact that because we're labeling a lot of people nowadays and we're throwing medication and we're sort of pretty much kind of convincing people in this sort of direction that you're this and you're that and here's medication, deal with it, sort
yeah,
of thing that's causing a problem as well.
yeah.
Mm.
Depression is a long-term state. It's not a short-term state.
No, no, it's not just
No.
being
If
upset
you
about
feel
something.
sad for a few days because someone
Yeah,
said
no, it's not
something
that.
nasty,
No, it's
it's
not
not
that.
depression.
No, 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 no,
You
no,
know,
it's not
but
that.
it's also the fact the way that I reckon parents are bringing up their kids as they're giving them things they want, but as soon as they get bullied or they get told no, they kind of feel sad because they haven't been taught this emotion where you can't have everything you always wanted.
Oh fuck, man, I'm way out of my depth now. I don't know what it's like to have children, so
None of us
I
do.
can't even
No,
comment.
none of us do.
So I don't know. I'm gonna switch the subject because we're getting pretty dark there. But
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Joe,
talk about bedroom eyes.
no,
Of course, of course,
exactly, exactly.
of course. I knew
I
this
think
was coming.
my
He
my
was
my
gonna say it, I knew it.
well, my memory is so fucking bad. But I think it was this morning, joKeR, that you posted up photos of your bed.
Yeah.
It was this morning.
Yeah. So what I've done is I got sick of my king single bed. I'm a 6'2" big guy sleeping on a king single bed for the last 10 years, and
Ah,
I got sick of it. I really got
I
sick
didn't
of
know
it.
it was a king single. I thought it was
No
a
difference.
tiny
It's
little.
fucking. It's short. It's tiny. My arms flop out. I can't. I couldn't. So I went straight to IKEA in one day, set it up, bought a mattress, pissed it off, and I even actually struggled to sleep in it.
Yeah, well, fair
Ironically.
enough. Because it's like taking your blanket away.
Well, no, it's it's a fact that I'm used to such a small bed. I couldn't utilize the entire bed.
It's so
Oh yeah,
funny. Like,
you end up sleeping on like one side, and you're just like,
Yeah, pretty
and there's
much.
just so much. But then you'll naturally, like I do, you'll naturally just literally be like diagonal in the
diagonal
bed.
sometimes. Yeah.
Upside down, left and
No,
right.
I still sleep on because I've always been used to like having a partner, long term relationship. So I still tend to sleep on one side, which is weird. But it just I
Not
don't know.
necessarily. For some people, it feels weird to sleep in the center, so they sleep on the side.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
sometimes you want to sleep on like the edge of the bed.
Sometimes you want to sleep with someone.
That's the next topic. No. But seriously, what excited me? What excited me about seeing this photo of you getting queen size bed is, it's like I instantly thought of guys who, twice your age or 10
It
years older than
excited you because you thought about guys. That's not
That-
surprising.
that I thought
Yeah, I
about
thought about you,
guys.
Hawk.
But no, seriously, I think it's like one of those. It's a rite of passage. Like I do think that a queen size bed is a rite of passage. Like I don't think you want to be too old in life before you get a queen size bed.
Yeah.
Does that make sense at all? Does it seem weird?
It's not weird. It's
It's like you can sleep, like you've been sleeping in like most people have been sleeping in a single size bed since they were teenagers, right?
Oh
So I
yeah.
just feel like it's one of those a rite of passage to becoming an adult.
I guess you could say that, but the thing is, you also sleep on a small bed because it's cheaper. It saves up space.
Well, we don't have problem with space. I mean, at
Well,
least
you
I mean,
guys don't, but there's
well,
probably a lot of people out there that
a
do.
lot of people do, like especially in
You know?
Japan and stuff. You would
But
like, fuck, I get that.
but it's a great feeling. Like you said, it is. It's a great feeling to. It's like a next level. You
That's
know
what
what
I
I mean?
mean. That's what I mean. Like, I mean, anyone who goes next level in life, like one of the next levels in life is obviously having a relationship with someone. Like, I know how fucking hard it is these days, but like, if you look at like why we're on the planet and shit, like,
Yeah.
pretty much everyone's expected to have a relationship at some point.
Yeah.
And when you do, is probably a lot of the time is when people do buy their first queen size bed, is probably because they're in a serious relationship with someone, they've moved in together, and yeah, you get a queen size bed.
Yeah. Exactly. Or a king.
or a king, right? Oh, king's pretty luxurious. I'm still working towards a king.
Maybe I should have got a king. I'm kind of regretting that now.
Oh man, if you got a king and your first serious girlfriend, you take her home, she sees your king, she'll think you're a fucking playboy.
Well, I am a king. I need to. It's my. It should be my status, mate.
Yeah, you're
But the
the king of
size of your
housing.
bed is the size of is your relationship status. You know, it's
so
not
big,
single anymore.
It's so big. Every time you take a photo of it, it doesn't fit into the frame because
Oh,
fucking
well,
king size
yeah,
bed.
well.
No, but seriously, like,
Something has to
I'm
be
happy.
big, you know?
I'm happy for you because I think like you can go and like spend all that money that you're spending now on your fucking your car, but like I think the bed is greater in stature and status than modifying your car.
Yeah.
I think it's like you said, it's kind of like a next level thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
So high five.
Thank you.
High
Well,
five.
the next now is the wardrobe, and yeah.
As in clothes?
Well, yeah.
Oh fuck, man! I still dress like a kid, you know.
Well, no, I'm not saying new clothes. I'm saying I need like right now. I'm just using a rack. You know, next is to build a wardrobe to put the clothes in. You know, make my elegant castle look a lot neater. You know.
I mean, do you guys just wear like jeans, sneakers, and a t-shirt and hoodies, or do you guys have nice
Jeans,
shirts,
no,
nice
jeans,
nice
I
dress,
love
shoes?
casual. I love hoodies.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. Like, don't you think like at some point you want to be like? Do you ever think that at some point you're gonna be wearing nice suits that are completely fitted to your body and
I got
nice,
Oh, right,
nice
like for
things?
weddings and things like that.
No,
Yeah.
no, just for every day, man. Like some people just like to dress nice. Like
Man,
I respect it.
If I was rich, that would happen all the time, mate.
Yeah, right.
Nice open collar shirt, Ralph Lauren, you know,
doing some
beautiful-
JoJo poses.
yeah, and then just some funny Crocs on the feet, you know,
Oh,
driving
God,
a
no.
Lambo.
That's it. Hey, maybe it's mostly to do with money for sure. That shit's not cheap.
No, it never is. Even clothing, even basic clothing now is not cheap. You know, you go to Connor, you know, for example, it's still $50-$60 a shirt. You know,
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's not
It's not
cheap.
like IKEA. It's not like
You know,
IKEA.
No,
It's like,
it just adds up. It adds up. At the moment, it probably
Yeah.
looks cheap, but it all adds up.
yeah. And it doesn't exactly like last that long either. Like for how much some of this stuff
Well,
costs.
Depends what you use it for. Depends if
Put
you
it through
eat
the
a bowl
wash a
of
few times
spaghetti
and
and
yeah,
spaghetti
exactly.
gets on the, you know, it just depends. You know?
Doesn't it spin you out that once upon a time, like a guy would put out, you know, what would be equivalent to like a $3,000 suit, and they would like see a puddle on the ground, and they would put it on the fucking ground for their women to cross over.
Right, like a bit of chivalry there.
Chivalry. Don't you think it
Yeah.
was like fucking amazing that was once a thing?
To
Like,
be honest,
there's a
I'm
puddle.
still that.
You're gonna put your fucking like Supreme hoodie out on the ground.
Yeah, but
Well, then
was
it's
that was in the
like-
days where people would be wearing suits pretty much all the time and a hat,
But the
Yeah.
and it would look
but
classy as.
chivalry, I enjoy chivalry. Not to the
Same.
point where you put a napkin down on the floor because of a paddle, because obviously we've changed since then. But
Yeah,
the fact that you're trying to do a nice gesture for someone you fancy, and it's like, well,
Also,
piss
that's a
off. I can do this myself. Like,
I could tell by seeing that photo of you on the bed, Hawk, that joker, that you're a romantic. You know, those bedroom eyes. I could definitely tell you.
all right, yeah. Did you check Hawk's ones?
Yeah,
That's
fuck,
hilarious.
you guys have a thing for each other for sure.
No.
You're fucking
Yes, Joker does have a thing for me. I know.
Oh, come on. Get over yourself.
He only took that photo recently just to show me. I
Oh,
know it.
piss off.
see what I'm hearing
You
right
know
now.
what?
right?
Why? You know, you're the woman in that because you've got the longer hair, okay?
You
I do
guys-
have longer hair. It blows back gloriously.
I mean, look, another subject that's come up before is like when we've talked about taking a Japan trip or something like that. It's like, Hawk, you've straight up just gone, oh, you're actually quite shy in real life, and like
No,
you're
I was
far
saying
from
I
shy on
am.
Discord, right? Like you're literally far from shy. And
Well,
and,
okay,
and
this is-
Joker,
this is-
and Joker, you're
thi-
the same too. Like you're saying you're a shy guy, but like we hung out for the first time in real life, last week, and you were
Yeah.
far from shy.
But the difference between that is, you know, you could shy is an emotion. It's a feeling. You know, you can still feel that emotion, but doesn't necessarily mean I have to show it. You know, I could, you know, try and push that aside and try and, you know, interact, because that's the way I've learned is I know I feel certain ways, and the way to get through them is to, you know, push yourself out there.
But that's not being shy. That's the opposite of being shy. That's
Well,
like, that takes genuine confidence to do. So you
well,
can't be
it
shy
is
and
a part of
confident at the same
confidence,
time.
but you know, I'll still be shy. You know, even speaking to someone random, sometimes I'll probably be a little bit more quiet. You know.
Well, the way it works for me is like I'll even if I have the confidence to say like, "Do you want to go out for a drink?" Which this is actually what happened with pizza. The guy I met in Elder Scrolls Online. I
Mm.
was like, "Oh, do you want to go out for a beer?" Like in Brisbane, because he actually was in the same thing.
Lives close to you, yeah.
Uh, Actually, he doesn't. But
Okay.
Brisbane, he works in Brisbane, and he was like, "Hey, do you just want to like go Brisbane City? We'll go to this Korean place that I know, which is like a bottle. It was pretty good." And we ended up like meeting some really good people there. But on the day, and actually the day before, I was racking my brain, and I was super nervous, and I was just like, maybe if I should just do this, I can cancel it, and I'll just not have to like do all of this stuff. And it was I had to really like sort of push myself out the door just to do it.
Mm.
But
That's
how
bizarre.
it works for me
Mm.
is if I meet you and like now I won't be like this at all. Like
I doubt that, man. Like,
no,
I doubt it.
trust me. I will not be like this at all. I'll be a bit quiet, maybe just a
No
bit. It'll
way.
be a bit awkward, but then as it progresses,
As you've had a few
as
beers, it'll be all right.
yeah, but
A few or a case.
but even if it as it progresses, not drunk or anything like that,
It's just
after a few
comfortability.
days,
That's all it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. But
Because you're comfortable speaking to us over the PC, you're very comfortable in your own space talking to someone. But as soon as you're out of your own space with someone else, you kind of feel like very uncomfortable, very out of place, and that's why you struggle.
paranoid.
Yeah,
Paranoid.
that's another way of
Oh
putting
no,
it.
I'd say that I am a bit because I am like fully like, oh my god, like I need to make sure I've got some sort of like route to go.
Yeah.
Because
I
that was the because when we talk about the Japan trip, I was literally like, I'm gonna have a problem because I refuse to sleep on flights because I can't do it.
Well, I'm the same. Like that's
So-
we just have to take a pill that puts us out, pretty much.
So,
Oh no,
so
I
if,
just
if,
I
if you
just
if
black
you're in
out.
if you're in a like a building and like a fire broke out or something, or you heard a loud explosion, would you be like fucking running for the door, like where everybody else is just sitting there going,
I'd
"What
be
the fuck's
herding.
going
I'd
on?"
be herding.
100%.
Would you be like fucking taking action?
100%.
Like if someone fucking fell through the roof, like just something fell through the roof, like would you just be
No, I'm
would you be
paranoid, but I'm not.
running out the door?
No,
Yeah, I would.
I'd already have the door marked. I already know where that is.
Yeah,
If a
right.
fire broke out, I'd be like, you fucking get over there, just start going, go, go, go.
I can hear Hawk just fucking shove everyone away and just
I
like
would.
go
I'd be like,
first.
yeah, but I'm also a bit impatient as well. So I'd be like,
A bit?
I'd literally be grabbing people. So I'd be like, just start going. I'm not dying. Get out.
Go
Do
the
you-
other way.
Do you drive, Hawk?
I don't like you. Just kick them back in the fire.
Like, Hawk,
Don't get up.
do you drive?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't. Well, Joker,
right.
when you drive, do you beep horns? Like, do you beat people and shit? Like, are you aggressive?
Not really, no.
Okay, well, that's fair call then. I was about to say
Yeah.
that would be like contradictory.
I don't, only, you know, if they do something really, really dangerous.
Yeah,
Like,
sure. As in using it for the
generally,
right reason.
generally,
Yeah.
it's unexpected. To me, people who focus so much on beeping their horns, literally are putting themselves in a dangerous position, because with that time you take your hand off the steering wheel and beep the horn is, you know, another thought process could say, hey, hang on, let's start breaking out.
You could dodge it instead.
Or or turn.
That's what I do. I tend
know?
to like dodge and then realize, fuck, I should have beeped the horn at him.
Because the less aggro you are,
Yeah.
the more you can think.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like even times where I've been in other people's cars, like the closest accidents that I've ever had was when the driver was just, thank God they were a good driver, and they actually swerved around the accident, and we beeped afterwards.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Didn't beep first. Like, holy fuck, save your
Yeah.
life first, and then beep later.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, fair call.
Like it's just chaotic on these roads. I just can't get over it sometimes.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like, you could probably have some really shy people, like just some ordinary people, but they're fucking beeping you. I'm like I remember my ex fiance had a good friend, and her boyfriend was like one of those dudes. He was in a gang and shit, and he used to sucker punch everyone, man. He used to go to nightclubs and just punch
What a
people out.
prick.
No, he was a fucking cunt. But like seriously, one day we are just like crossing the Glebe Island Bridge, and it was a bit of a traffic jam, and someone beeped him, and he hopped out of his car and he just sat in the other person's car.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. You never know who you're beeping, man. You
Well,
just don't
that's
know,
the other thing.
Like, he's a fucking gangster, so it's like you fucking beep him, like
I tend to
because he didn't move up another couple of feet.
Yeah.
Like, just be careful who you're beeping.
But the other problem is on these roads is the fact that, you got people driving without like lights on during the night. Like, come on. I understand, like, the cars nowadays are smart enough to turn on by themselves.
Yeah, but that's because they've got their dash on and they can see their speedo, but they can't. They haven't got the awareness to look out.
But cars have had automatic sensors for lights since 2005.
I mean,
100%.
Even we saw two cars. Like last week, we saw two cars on the road that didn't have their lights on at night.
Yeah,
and they would have driven the whole fucking way until someone actually, flashed them, and they
like it's people doing these wrong things, and then all these topics get started. Like, for example, at nighttime, if a bike rider doesn't have lights, how the hell are you supposed to see them?
That's shocking.
And then you've got debates between cyclists and cars. Well,
cyclists, man, cyclists without lights are fucking psycho.
Yeah. I agree. Cyclists need to be more cautious of the surroundings, because what they do is they tend to take advantage of the full path or get between cars. They're putting their lives their own lives in danger. Sometimes guys with cars don't even give a crap about them and wouldn't mind hitting them, because what is a scratch compared to a broken bone?
Yeah.
But people are just very aggressive on these roads.
Yeah, it's just Sydney. Like, it's just gotten worse and worse.
It's just people.
Sydney. It's a big city. It's a big city.
People just need to be considerate for each other, because
like Japan, Japan, man. Like in Japan, like if you're at the traffic light and you're first at the traffic light at night, you'll turn your headlights off so that you're not blinding the people on the other side of the road.
Oh wow.
So everyone at the front of the traffic light will dim their lights. It's just so good, man.
That's
it's just
pretty
like,
cool.
they're just so, I don't know. It's just, here you'll always find the slow driver in the right lane. That's Sydney.
Oh yeah, the overtaking lane.
yeah, on purpose. Like, even on the M5,
100%.
even on the M5, it says huge signs that say, that's what I used to do.
Keep left unless overtaking.
Yeah, I used to like get right up people's bums and like be so angry. I'd be flashing them.
Oh yeah,
100%. As soon as I pass one of those huge signs, I've got my arm out the window going, fucking read the sign. And then next minute, I'm getting a fucking letter in the mail saying that, someone's reported me.
What?
Yeah, they do that. They do that now. Yeah, for having a loud exhaust or something like that.
Oh god.
They're like, if you get two more of these letters, you might have to come into a defect station.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, living in Germany and being in England a few times, I've never seen so many dinged up cars than I have in Australia.
Every ute's got a ding on the back, I guarantee you that.
In Italy, it's bad.
No, I have seen, I just, everywhere I look, it's just, that car's been in an accident, that car's just got a massive dent in it, that car's just missing its entire front. Oh, look, the boot's been completely caved in. I'm just like...
But you know what? It's also the fact that people are not considerate of other people's vehicles. People spend money on these vehicles, but just because you drive a $5,000 Toyota crap box doesn't mean you open the door and ding other people's cars and just walk away scot-free. Like be a bit considerate. Park a distance away enough for you to get out, or turn the angle of your car so you can give enough space. That's what I do.
They don't stop reversing when they're reverse parking until they've hit your car.
Or that, exactly, 100%.
But dude, even if I'm at the fucking Woolworths, like, I'll be sitting there looking at some fucking meat or something, and like some lady will just come and crash her fucking cart into me. Oh, sorry, Jesus. I wasn't looking. I'm like, fucking oath you weren't looking. She was
Well,
too busy looking at the lamb chops.
I went out with a mate and my brother, and what happened was this old lady was reversing a car out of the parking spot, and she collided. She kind of
Yeah,
glided against the rear end of a car, and then she just drove off.
just
And I
drove
was
off.
like,
Yeah,
what the
yeah,
hell? So I
yeah,
thought, do you have a paper, pen? Yep.
yeah. You do the right thing.
Wrote the details of the number plate.
Oh, good on you, bro.
Stuck my number on the car, and
Good on you, bro.
by the time I stuck it on the window, the family actually came out to their car, and I was
Oh,
like, "Well,
nice.
listen, this woman actually hit your car," and he's like, "Oh, wow, thank you so much for reporting." I'm like, "Well, all I do is expect is if that happened to me, you'll do the
Yeah,
same."
yeah.
It's
That's right.
just as
That's
simple
right.
as that. Ironically, the woman actually came back literally 2 minutes later, and I said, "That's the
Oh,
woman that hit your car."
oh, fuck, cool. Well, you mean she came back on purpose, or she just came back?
I don't know. She was very old.
Yeah.
And then probably about 2 weeks later, I got a phone call from the police, wanting a statement.
Oh man, it kind of was even worse in like in the 80s and stuff. Like everyone used to just get drunk and drive.
Did you
Like,
reply with, I
there
ain't
was
no
no such thing
snitch?
as breath testing.
It's not
So,
about being a snitch. It's doing the right thing.
Oh,
Put
no, I think that is, man. Yeah, that's
yourself in
cool.
their position. If someone else were to do that to you, would you
Oh,
do?
I'm not being serious. It's okay. Calm down. Fucking hell.
yeah, but that's just because like it doesn't help that you're a car guy. Like a lot
Yeah.
of people don't look at cars as anything but like
Just a
this
piece of
like
metal.
it's like an appliance. It's like a fucking fridge or
Yeah.
something. Like they don't care. Like they go and gutter their rims on purpose every day. It seems like like they don't care. So
Three hundred
I,
thousand
I
dollar car, gutted rims, beautiful.
yeah, standard. Sydney's
Yeah,
all about
if you
gutted rims.
if you look back in time and compare it to the road rules of nowadays, I mean, like in
Mm.
the 80s and the 90s, you had car phones. Like nowadays, it's pretty much
Yeah.
like if you even touch your car if you even touch your phone in your car, even if it's not moving, a cop can just rock up and go, here's a ticket.
Why can you smoke a cigarette in a car still? I don't get that.
You can.
Like, I
Can't
mean,
you?
but you shouldn't. Yeah, but it's like you still got one hand on the cigarette. It's like it's not you're not really.
It's distracting.
It is
If you,
distracting as
even if
fuck.
you touch a radio, eat food, drink a coffee, like all those are
Yeah, true. But
classified.
cigarettes are pretty bad.
And
I think cigarettes are pretty bad.
it's by the opinion of the arresting officer, which is the sad thing.
I so get people wanting to, like, I'm a smoker myself, but I so get people wanting to ban it because today, like, I drove into the city today and I was behind a car that the guy in front was smoking, and I was copping, like, and I had my window open, which I always do, and
Just coughing
I
all the
was copping,
secondhand smoke.
yeah, and I was like, this is disgusting. Like, he's got a fucking exhaust on his car, and I can't smell that, but I can smell the smoke that went into his fucking lungs, and it's coming back out into the air, and it's going
Disgusting.
into my fucking lungs. So I fucking get it. As a smoker, I get it. It's like,
I'm a non-smoker. I've always been, and I hate it. Like, have a bit of respect for us non-smokers.
yeah, no, I get it. Like when I was a kid, we could smoke on planes. We had ashtrays on every plane. You had a little ashtray next to your armrest.
Oh yeah, they
And
still had those for years.
and also, like, if you go to the food court in like Centrepoint in the city, you go to the food court. There was just everyone was fucking smoking.
Who doesn't miss going into a restaurant and then being like, non-smoking or smoking table, and your
Yeah,
parents
yeah,
going
yeah,
smoking,
yeah.
and there'd just be this ashtray in the middle of the thing, and as you're eating your meal, you just go,
But I just remember like distinctly seeing it change. Like the non-smokers section was like this tiny section of the huge food court. And then it flipped. It became
yeah.
like the whole food court is non-smoking and there's only a tiny little room for the smokers.
well,
And
yeah,
then all of a sudden it was like no smoking at all.
I
So,
was seeing that like completely change. Restaurants had sort of like pretty much half and half. It was
half and half
non-smoking,
initially,
smoking,
yeah.
and then at some point, like airports and all that sort of stuff had specific smoking rooms, and
Yeah.
then nowadays it's like, and then it was just a smoking area outside, and nowadays it's like you have to actually be so many meters away from the
Yeah.
premises to
Yeah,
start
yeah.
smoking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really changed recently, but I definitely saw the change. I mean, it really started with sport too in Australia. Like, cigarette companies used to sponsor the footy and Formula One and all of that stuff. And it's like, I think Marlboro was the first to. You got
Yeah,
to
but
take the Marlboro off. You can keep the red stripes, but you can't have the word Marlboro on it.
yeah,
So
but like just remember that like a few decades ago as well, smoking was considered healthy.
Oh yeah. Well, look, they still
No,
consider.
doctors literally did infomercials where they went, to keep your lungs healthy and keep your have a good health, have a smoke, and it'd be
Yeah, yeah,
from
yeah.
all these cigarettes companies. And nowadays you look at them and you just go, oh my god, what? That's like the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, like if you're living in Sydney anyway, if you're living in like fucking Surrey Hills or something, like the air around where you live, like it doesn't matter when you're in your house sleeping at night in your bed, you're still breathing fucking all this carbon monoxide and shit from the train stations and all the smoke and shit, you know? I mean, that's partly the reason why I live by the beach. It's like because when I'm sleeping, I know I'm breathing fresh air. So it's hardcore, you know. It's like
Salty sea.
certain places are definitely the air outside's fucked no matter what.
I still wonder why we haven't gone electric for public transport. Wouldn't that make make it a lot easier?
Isn't the tram electric?
The
The tram's
trains are
electric.
the trains are electric, but the buses
Buses,
aren't.
taxis.
Who really go?
It'll get there. It's a matter of time. I mean, you know, in when I was running the car scene, the fucking Prius, we just used to laugh at that fucking thing.
Now it's
You know,
like,
and now it's like fucking Tesla was faster than your GDR. It's like faster than my GDR. And it's just like that happened within years, like a few years. So it's pretty
well, I wouldn't
amazing.
mind a Tesla, except they cost $130,000. But
Well, so does a GDR once you've modded it all up, and also does a new
exactly,
GDR.
like
So
what would you get, a GDI or a Tesla?
I actually don't know.
Oh, don't lie to us.
I'd probably get a Tesla, strip it out, and take it to the drags every Wednesday night.
Then you can pink slips.
Yeah, just fucking just beat everybody,
Jeez.
and then like they'd be looking for the turbo. I'm like, what?
Elon Musk will be proud of you, mate.
That guy's a freak.
Uh,
That guy's a super geek.
He's done well. He's done really, really well. He's trying to improve, the world in his own way.
Yeah, he's trying to change the world.
Yeah, but
He's trying to give us a backup plan. If shit goes wrong here, we can go to Mars.
That would have happened. That would have happened regardless of him, like because that sort of stuff's been happening for years.
Yeah, by NASA.
I mean, technically, according to our past selves, we should have like floating cars by now. We should be like have discovered alien races. Yeah, but I mean, like,
there's always an element of fantasy.
Yeah, but yeah, you just take like literally like TV shows, movies, and comic books and books from like the past, and you're literally like how the past should be and like how it actually is nowadays.
I don't fucking get that. If I'm in a fucking car park, I can't even get reception. You know, when fucking moon landing happened, they could talk to people on the fucking moon. Like, I don't fucking get it.
Oh, that's a good point. That is an actually good point. I'm not gonna lie.
If you had the fucking technology to talk from Earth to the fucking moon back then, like how come I can't even?
The moon is a natural satellite.
Three words: fake moon landing.
Well, I mean, the moon is.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Well, the moon is a natural satellite, as it's been shown, and I think there was a thing about how the moon landing isn't fake, is the parallel shadows.
Look, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, it's not that we've been to the moon so many times since then, so it doesn't really make sense. But yeah, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. No, I'm not a flat earther.
Yeah, because
we've fallen off the earth so many times.
But yeah,
we have images from outer space that show that the moon isn't flat, but it's also not perfectly round either. So
are you sure that's not photoshopped?
Oh my god!
I believe in Photoshop.
See?
you know what I love about Photoshop? It's kind of like, to me, it's almost similar to social media and Facebook and stuff, in that like the person who created Photoshop 1.0, they never knew what people were going to fucking create in it. Like they created this thing so that you can, maybe edit pimples or out of a photo, or like you can change the sky to make it more blue or something. And
Give
then
bigger
like
breasts
people,
to Hawk.
well, that's the thing. People just started doing fucking crazily creative shit in that program, man. And I love the fact that like people can create a monster and not intentionally, but like it gets to a point where it's way out of their control. Like people are creating shit in your own application that you couldn't even have thought of.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of what's happened with social media. You know, it's like they created Facebook for a specific reason, and then it just fucking blew up. They just got out of
Yeah, because
control.
you had Bieber and MySpace before that as well, and
Ah,
and they didn't do
MySpace.
so well. And then what happened was when Facebook came out, boom, everyone went for that, and it's
Fucking hell, eh?
still like that today.
Mm. I actually geeked out about it. Like at the time, I was a website designer, so when Facebook came out, um, it looked boring. Like it looked really text heavy. It was really corporate, but they had like these sliding JavaScript menus, and like you roll over something and it would slide out and stuff. I'm like, fuck, the programming involved in this was next level at the time. So
Yeah, but was that when it was Facebook or the Facebook?
no, well, fuck the movie. I remember when that movie came out, man. I got so many phone calls because at that time people were still fucking calling each other. I got so many phone calls from people that were like, "Oh, Justin, let's catch up. You know, I want let's talk about some ideas and stuff." I'm like, "You just watched that Facebook film, hey?" They'd be like, "Yeah."
Social media.
But it's like, you know, that movie just inspired so many entrepreneurial types that I knew back then to, you know, want to try to start something like it. It's not that easy.
Yeah, but
No.
everyone's doing it nowadays.
Usually, it starts off with a simple idea, something unique, and then
Yeah, and
you
then
move forward.
and then the person, the next thing is like you take something that is already in existence and you just make it better. And
Well,
then
yeah,
it's like the Pepsi of the Coca-Cola kind of thing. You know,
yeah.
it like someone takes off and then fuck you just create the alternative.
Wait, what was older, Coca-Cola or Pepsi?
Pretty sure
Got to be
Coca-Cola's.
Coca-Cola's got to be first, man.
Well,
But
it's still
hey,
first
could be
now.
wrong. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. I mean, personally, I like the taste of Coca-Cola better than Pepsi.
Pepsi Max all the way.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
see, there you go. We're Hawk, you and I, man. That's the reason why we're doing this channel.
I don't know what to say at this point. I like Fanta.
Coca-Cola introduced 1886. Pepsi founded 1965.
There you go.
I'm OG. You're not, Hawk. But
No, the one that triumphs above all of them is Iron Brew. There is no other soft drink that is better.
I just don't like soft drinks in general. They make me gassy.
Too much sugar.
That's
if you
called
ask
being
me.
old.
Yeah, probably.
I like vodka.
Fucking, I love.
That's
vodka,
called being
man.
Russian.
I drink vodka straight. you know, once someone said to me, like, I had a really bad flu once, and this guy that I forget who he was, I forget his face, everything, but he just said to me, "Dude, you want to get rid of that flu like really fucking fast?
Drink some rakia.
And he said, just drink a whole bottle of vodka. Like you'll vomit all night. You'll be like alcohol poisoning. You'll be so sick, but you'll wake up and the flu will be gone." And I did it, and it worked. It just fucking vomited all night, vomited like maybe 30, 40 times that night. But
Yeah,
the
I
next
think
morning I woke up and I had the flu was gone. It was a heavy flu too. It was like it was almost like a bronchitis. Like I was like coughing up green phlegm. So it's like the next day it was gone.
I wonder, throw up all night or suffer the flu?
I don't know. I'm just saying that it worked.
I think I'll go for the flu.
Yeah, but is
Yeah.
it the flu or is it the man flu?
It was a man flu, man, for sure.
Well, I'm more of a preferable towards spice rum, scotch, and whiskey.
Suits your
Personally.
accent.
Just cracking, love that.
Mhm.
Don't mind a bit of Jack Daniels every here and now, but like Lagavulin, Glenfiddich, that's the way to go.
Canadian club.
I don't care, man. I don't care for the brands or what. I'll just any vodka's good for me. Any red wine's good for me. White wine, I don't give a fuck. Like I used to be one of those more of a wine connoisseur and like have certain wines that I liked more than others and certain regions that I like more than others. And I used to have a simple rule that it's like so long as it's about $20 and above, like $20, it should be all right. And now I'm just like, fuck, I don't care. I'll get like $50 for 6 wines, and I'm just like, it all does the same shit. So I've kind of gone the other way with that shit.
I wouldn't mind a gin and tonic.
Gin, yeah, I used to drink a lot of gin as well. I stay off the hard liquors. I'm mostly drinking wine these days because if I drink beer, I just get fat.
Yeah,
it's because it's got a lot of sugar in it.
I mean, I used to drink so many beers because all the guys I used to hang out with used to drink beer, but it's like, just get bloated, man.
I honestly only like, your flavored beers or ciders because they actually taste nice. I don't.
Well, there's so many awesome beers now. Like there's so many craft beers.
Yeah, I know, but I just like when people are like, I fucking love beers, and they like talk about this. I'm like, why do you like it? It basically just tastes like piss.
Well, certain situations too. Like if I go out for Japanese and I'm having like fucking karage, like fried chicken, like fuck yeah, I'll have a beer. If I'm having fried Korean chicken, I'll have a cold sharp beer, man. With that, it's just like perfect.
When
you say karage ramen, I think I know which shop you're talking about.
Oh, that one that we passed, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I can't do beer and food. It's just disgusting to me.
Oh, so long as the food's super salty and deep fried, like
I got something that's plenty salty for you.
God, no.
Oh God! All right. Look,
I was talking about Twix and pretzels. What were you guys thinking about?
Well, definitely a Twix.
All right, guys. I reckon we should wrap it up. I mean, we can talk shit all night, but I think we talked about a whole lot more stuff than, well, not like we planned anything though, to be honest. But it wasn't exactly geeky shit. Some of the stuff we talked about was like fucking got pretty dark there.
Okay, well, next time we'll just step it up even more. Okay.
We'll go dark till we get black. How about that?
Oh, now you said.
Oh, are you allowed to say that nowadays?
I don't think you can say black or white these days, man.
Oh,
no,
really?
you can say white.
You'll get fucking slammed by all the movements out there,
No, you can say
Oh,
white.
come on! I'm not even referring to that.
You'd be quoted out of context. That's the way those guys wage war with each other. They quote each other out of context all
cherry
day
picking
long.
quote gut.
You know what?
Digging up old
They're the
material.
immature. They're the immature people. I'm not. So they can do it. I don't care.
Yeah, but just because you say that doesn't stop them. I mean,
well, if you said it on Discord, it would be fine. But now that you're saying it in public realm on YouTube, like, you watch out, bro.
Censor it.
Beep.
Well, I think if we're going to wrap it up, I think bedroom eyes joKeR should take the lead on this one.
Oh, really? No, you take the lead because you did a really good outro last time with the nipples out. I fucking love that.
Yeah, you go for it because I have no idea what I'm doing.
Young out, but it's not young out. It's like nipples out. That's why I cracked up. It was really funny.
All right, okay. People of the internet dwellers, you sexy little peoples. We have been geeked out, and I hope you've been geeked out too. Nipples out.
That's great. Okay. Catch you later, guys.
See ya, champ.